Hello and welcome back to Basis and Practice in Programming. In this lecture, we are going to cover a new topic. We are going to talk about files, input and output. So far, we learned several techniques and several grammars, several syntax to create a C programming software. And we want in this lecture to deal with files. Why? Because sometimes the software will run and the user start inserting some data to the software. And then later, the user will try to close the software and then go home or go to somewhere and then back again, and he doesn't want to insert the same data again. So all the data he inserted, like for example, 1 hour ago or 1 day ago, he wants this data to remain in his software, and then he continue from where did he close the software last time. So in this case, we need to save the user data inside a file, okay? If we save the software data inside a file, next time the user open the software, all the data he inserted before will recover from the file and be used to continue running the software from the last status of the software. From where the software closed, it will run and continue from where did you close last time. So saving data of the user to file, this is what we call it writing to file. And then later when you run the software again and retrieve all of this data again back, this one what we call it reading from the file. So we will see in the today lecture, which will be the outline of the lecture will be as follows. We will see what is the file meaning, and also we will see what kind of file we can read and write. So we will see two types of files. The first type is a text file, how to save your data as a text to a file. We call this one text file. Like you save your name, your number, some numbers in the software. You want to save them to a file, how to save those data to file, and then also how to read data back from files, from text file. The other type of files we will see is binary file. Those files are, you will save your data, or the software data will be saved to a binary. Binary mean the files will be 0 and 1, 1 and 0. So the files are not readable for a human. So the files will be only readable for the software. So the software will save the data as unreadable for a human inside a binary file, and then later read from this binary file. What is the uses of the text files and the binary file? This is what we are going to see in the lecture today. And then we will talk about some things or some discussion about which one we should use in which situation. So let's start. First, what is the file? File is a storage. So it's a just location in your hard disk where you save your data. And when you save this data inside a file, everyone, I think most of you already deal with files before, like Microsoft Word file, PDF files, text file, and so on. So those files has a name and has extension. So you will say, for example, this file has a name like, for example, data, and then has extension dot, for example, txt. This is what we call it extension file, okay? This extension of the file will tell you what is the type of this file. So this file will be text file. If I save this file as data and then .exe, that means this one will be executable file, and so on. So this extension here will tell you what is the file type. Now, how C language see the file? Usually the file in C language is just a sequence of bytes, okay? We don't care if these bytes are text data, it's in numbers data, it's machine code data, we don't care. So C language just say every file is just a sequence of bytes, okay? It's sequence of bytes, and each byte we can read each byte individually, okay? Now in C language, we can handle the file as a binary file, or we can handle the file as a text file. So if we handle the file as a binary, that means each and every character will be accessible by the program. Each byte in the file can be accessible. But in the case of text file, in this case, you will see the file different. Not each byte, we will see each character. Okay, so we will read as a character. So for example, let's see here example. If imagine you have a file, and this file will be I have been unable, and then you click enter. When you click enter, you are inserting -r and -n. This is the carriage return, and then this one is the new line. And then you say to live in uncommitted or, and then you click enter again. And in this case, until the end of the file, you click enter, and then after the enter, you close the file. When you close the file, you are clicking Ctrl and Z. This is the Z character. We call this one the end of the file character. This is mean the file finish. And this one, you can generate this one, this character by clicking on the keyboard Ctrl, okay, Ctrl plus Ctrl Z, okay, Z character, okay. So this is the file we can generate, and this file, if we read the file as a binary, the file will read the file, each character we inserted. Even we can read this -r alone, or -n alone, or this Z alone. So we can read any character, any byte in the file individually. But in the case if we read as a text file, we will read the file as like this. It will read like 1 and then -n. So only we have here the new line, new line, a new line. And the last character end of the file will not be accessible. We don't see that the end of the file. We just see there is last new line and that's it. Okay, so the view of the file will be different based on how we read the file. If we read the file as a text, it will be this shape. If we read the file as a binary, it will be this shape. So what I want to say here from this picture, that reading the file based on I read it as a binary or I read it as a text, the characters will be a little bit different based on the reading mode or how we read the file. This one will be more clear when we start seeing some example. Okay, now to read the files in C language, we need this library. We need std, this one, IO. Okay, this library, you need it for reading files. Now to read files in C language, all the reading functions to read the file, or to write to the file, only you need to make function call. That means you need to call some functions. And this will be more clear when we start see some example. But to read to file and write to the file, you need to call some functions. Those functions are where? Those are in this library. Okay, now why we put all the read and write files inside this library? This is for reason. So if we call this one, that means it's everything related to read it to the file and read it from the file and write to the file are in this library. That means this library is portable. That means I can move this library for anywhere. I can include this library to any C programming software. And also, because I have just one library used by any C programming software, in this case, there will be general way for reading files and writing file. Okay? So it will be a general way for reading and writing file because we have only one library for reading and writing files. But what is the bad about this one? When you create a general way for reading to files and writing to the files, in this case, you are not using the advantages and the power of the operating system. So for example, reading files in Windows is less, the control is less than you read the files in Linux or read the files in Unix. So Unix and Linux are more powerful to read the files. But because you are creating some code which can run in any operating system, Windows, you can create C software, and this C software can read files in Windows and Linux and Unix and any operating system using the same library. That means the capability, you cannot take the advantage of the capabilities of operating system which have more power to control the file than other operating system. So for example, you can control files more in Linux than Windows. But because you have a general library, in this case, you cannot use the advantage given by Linux in the case of writing and reading files. So it will be, so this is why generating general library for reading and writing files will be somehow bad in the case of performance. But it would be good for portability. That means any file, reading and writing files code can run in Windows, Linux, and any operating system if you are using the same library. Okay, now how to, usually the files, when you open files in C programming, they don't distinguish usually. In C language, when you are using the output and the input stream, we call this one stream. In this case, they don't care in C language if those input and output are to the file or to the to screen or anything. So how in C language, in C programming, when you are doing some input, for example, input, you are doing input. That means you are inserting to your software. So this is your software, and you want to insert to your software some input. This input could be coming from keyboard, or the input could come from file. You can read data from file, or you can read data from keyboard, or you can read data from mouse, okay? Or you can read data from any input device. Now, when you read data from input device, the C programming code does not know if you are reading from mouse, or you are reading from the keyboard, or you are reading from file, okay? Usually, when you are reading input, you are reading from mouse, keyboard, and file, and you put this one inside something, we call it stream. What is the stream? So the stream, sorry, this one. So the stream here is some storage in the memory, and this storage in the memory will, anything coming from the input device will go to the this storage in the memory, and then your software will read from this stream. So to make this picture more nice, so let me just clear this one and make it more beautiful to read. Here, your software will be like this. So you have your C software, and imagine your C software. So this is C software, okay? So your C software want to read from input. So usually you want to read from keyboard, for example. When you read from the keyboard, any key you press in the keyboard will go to some storage in your RAM. This is your memory, your computer memory. Your RAM in your computer memory. And it will go in the memory in a specific location. That location, we call it a specific location in the memory. We call this one input stream. We call this one input stream, okay? This is a storage in the memory. And then from that input stream, it will go to your computer. You will see the user press letter A. For example, if the user press letter A in the keyboard, that A will go to the stream. And from the stream, automatically will go to your software. A will be coming here, okay? Now, if you want to write to a screen, in this case, so whatever, if you read from the keyboard or you are reading from file, later we will see, you read from the file, this file also data will go to some stream. And from that stream, you can go and give this data to the software. Now, if you want to write to a screen, your data, you want to print, like, for example, you will say print F, print F. And you print F, for example, hello. If you say, for example, hello, if you print hello here, okay, you print hello to the screen. In this case, this data will go to some location in the memory. We call this one output stream. And that one, output stream, we call this one output stream. And from that output stream, the data can go to your screen, or the data can go to a file. Okay, go to that file. So that means in C language, again, one more time, in C language, we don't deal with the keyboard directly. We don't deal with the screen directly. We deal with something we call it input stream and something we call it output stream. And then this output stream could send the data to keyboard, so to the screen or to the file, or send the data, read the data from keyboard or the file. Okay? To prove for you this kind of thing, we will see this one by example. So let's see some example to prove for you this idea of reading from stream and writing to stream. So imagine, so to make this one, let's have here a software, very simple software. That software will read from the keyboard. Okay, before this one, maybe I need, okay. I will here do something like a printf. Okay, let's see here, printf, and then in this print, I will print on the screen, for example, this data should leave the software to output. Okay, to output. Okay, and this data should leave to the output stream. Okay, to the output stream. So this message here, I will run, and then in here, this data, okay, so this one, okay, I will, okay, so here's the data, and then I will compile. I have multiple files here. Later we will talk about those files. So here is the file, and then when I run the software will say this data should leave to the software to the output streams. The output stream print this data to the screen. Okay, so this is the software, and this software exists in this location. Okay, so I will go to this location. So the software. Okay, let me just run again. This is in the C user. I will copy this location, and then I will go to this location. Okay, here is the software, here is the application. From here, I will create, so I will run from the command line. So I will write CMD here to open the screen. This one, CMD. Just click CMD, you will see the command line. And on here, I will go to this location. So I will say CD, and then I will copy this location, okay? So I will paste this location. And now I am here in this location, and then I can run this software. So this is lecture 11. So I will say here, lecture 11.exe. Okay, and then you click enter, and this should be leave to the software. So it will be shown in the screen. But I can make the stream just send the data to a file. How we can do this one? We call this one something, we call it redirect. Redirect the stream. So how we can do that? Very simple. So we will go here, lecture 11, and then I say whatever output in the screen, don't send it to the screen. So I'll say here, all the stream, the output stream data will go to another file. So I'll say file.txt. So for example, okay, and then, oh, by the way, I have file.txt here, so I will delete this one. Okay, so here I say file.txt. So everything will go to the file.txt. So and then after that, I click enter. When I click enter, there is nothing. So when I click enter here, there is no output come to the screen. If you see here, there is no output, but the output go to where? To the file.txt. So if I open the file here, here is it. The data came to the file. From the output stream, the data came to the file. So that means the stream, the output stream could go to the screen or could go to the file. The same thing, we can do that for input. We can read data from keyboard, or we can read the data from the file. So how we can do that? So let's see this one together. So I will create character here, CH, and this example is already there. So just for the sake of time, here is the example. So I will make a while, and in this while I will read characters. So I will say here, for example, CH equal, and then here get character. So I will say get character, and this character come from the I can pass here ch. Sorry, this is get character without this anything. So get character like this, and then I'll see here while. So I will say here while this character ch not equal. If it's not equal the star character, okay, if it's not equal the star character, in this case you will just continue. Okay, so this one here I will print this character. So I will say put character, print this character on the output stream. Okay, whatever the output stream is. So I will say put character here ch. Okay, yeah, that's it. So this is the example. Okay, so here I say read whatever the character, and then if it's not equal to this star, then just print it on the screen. So it will keep reading from the keyboard and then read another character. Maybe I will ask here read another character. So put the character on the screen and then read character again. So I will say here read the character again, ch equal, and then read the character again. But look here, so read the character first time, and then if it's not equal to star, then print on the screen and then read the character again one more time. But you see here there is a read before the while and then read inside the while. I can put this one all in one sentence in the while. So how I can do that? You see this one, ch, I will say here get character. Okay, this one I will copy here. I say read character. Okay, and if this character is not equal, so read character here, I will say ch. So this one will be here, I will read character. I will say here read. Oh, by the way, I can copy this one just like one shot here. So I will put this one, the sentence here, read character. And if this character is not equal to this one, so every time the while run, it will execute this one. And this one read one character. So in this case, no need for this one. Why? Because I am reading the character here. I am reading this sentence of reading character is here. So every time he's checking the logic, he will read one character, and then after he read the character, he will check if it's equal star or not equal star. Okay, so in this case, no need for this one and no need for this one. So no need for this both. Okay, so every time read the character here, and then after you read the character, check this character is equal. Next, check this character is equal star or not. If it's not equal star, then print the character and then again read character again one more time. And then print on the screen, and then again read the character one more time. So this one is much better than the other way, like this. So this way is the simple way, but the more professional way is this way. Okay, so this is read character and from the keyboard. Okay, so you are thinking from the keyboard, but this one read from the stream, from the input stream. I don't care what this input stream. So let's see. I will execute this one. So when I run this one, let's run. It will tell you here, you should say leave data. This is the output, the first sentence. And then after that, it's waiting me to print some characters. So I say, this is fun. So you see here, and then I will put star. When I put star, then check. Okay, then after that, check. You see, check. You look here, star, and then check. This one I inserted by the keyboard and then I put star. After I put a star, whatever, so because this loop is print on the screen, put character. So it will print this is fun, but check is not printed. This one I insert by the keyboard, but it's not printed, okay? It's not printed. Why? Because until star, it will print in the screen, put character. But after the star, nothing will be printed here. So there is nothing here, okay? So this software is working amazing, good. So how about this? So the software here read the data from the keyboard. How about if I make this software read the data from file? How I can do that? Let's do the same thing. So how about if I copy this one, I insert from the keyboard, I will copy this one, copy, and then I will go here, and then I will create some file, okay? Let's say some file, okay? I will create here some file, text file. Okay, it's new, and then text file, and then I will say this one input file, like this, input file .txt, and then inside this file I will put the data like this. This is fun, and then star, and then check. Okay, So this is the data I insert. Now I will give the data from the file, not from the keyboard. From the file, I will give the data to the software. Okay, so let's close, save. And now how I can give this data to the software? To give this data to the software, I will say here, lecture, okay, exe, and then I will say the data come to this one, not from the keyboard. The data will come from input. So it will come from input.txt. So don't forget about this one here, okay? So the data come from this one, the keyboard. So it's not coming from the keyboard, the data is coming. Be careful that this one should not be like this. This one mean output the results. No, this one input. That means the data come from this file and will be inserted to the software. So now if you click enter, okay, you see this data should leave the software to the output stream, and this is fun. From where this is fun coming? This is fun coming from the input file. If I don't do this one, I must insert the this is fun by myself. So let me do this one without this input. Without this input, the software will ask me, okay, he's waiting now. I will say, this is fun, and then I will put star, and then whatever after will not be read. So click enter. So this is fun. You see, this is, I insert the data from the keyboard now. But if I do the other way, I'm giving the data from file. So from the file, go to the input stream, and then from the input stream, the software will read this data. Okay? How about if I make this software read from the file and then insert the result into the file? That means insert this one all to the file. Okay, how I can do that? It's very simple. So I will do the same thing. I will say lecture 1, and then I will say read the data from input file. Read the data from input file .txt, and then whatever the result, output result, go to output file. For example, .txt. I want read the input from this guy and from this file. And this one must be there. If it's not there, it will show error. So this one must be there. And then the result will go to the output file. Okay, if you put space here, that's fine. So I can go back here, just add more space, it will be more nice. Okay, so now whatever the result, go to the output file. So click enter and nothing appear here. But where is the output come? To this guy. You see here? So this one generated to this output file. So let's open, here is it. This file generated and the results are coming inside this file. So now this is how you can, we call this one redirect. Redirect the output and redirect the input. Redirect the output to the file and redirect the input from file. Okay? So this is already explained in here. Okay? How this is output and this is the input. And then you can combine the output and input together. Okay? So this kind of thing. Okay, now this is what we call it redirect. Now let's see how we don't want to redirect. We need to make a software, and that software really, not read from the keyboard, really read from the file, only from files. Okay, can we do that? The answer is yes. We just create a stream, and this stream connected to file. So we connect the stream to the file. We say only read from file. Don't read it from keyboard or don't read it from anything. Just read from file. How we can do that? We will create a stream, and that stream is connected to file. To do that, we need to create file variable. So the file pointer, we need to create file pointer, and that file pointer will be connected to a file structure. So the file pointer connected to a file structure. How we can do that? Let's see one example. So here we will say file, so after we create file pointer, so here is a file pointer. You say, okay, this is like a data type. Before we say, like, for example, we say a variable like integer variable, for example, like this. Or we can say integer star pointer, mean pointer of variable, pointer variable of type integer.
So this variable of type integer. But here we are creating variable, and this pointer variable, what is the type of this one? It's a file. What is the file? File is a structure. This one is a structure. Okay? This is a structure. So what is this structure? This is a structure. Where is this structure? This structure exists inside stdio.h library. Okay, so inside this library there is a structure file. Okay, there is a structure file. So that structure file, I create pointer from that structure. Okay, so we studied structure before. So this one is a structure of a file, and this file exists inside this library. Okay, now after you create the pointer, you will say this pointer is pointing to this file. And how it's pointing to this file? Using open function. So we will use fopen function. This function, where is this function? Again, this function exists inside stdio library. Okay, so inside this library there is fopen function. That means file open, and you will give here the name of the file. So this is the name of the file. And this one, what is the how you want to open the file? You want to open the file for reading, or you want to open the file for writing? Okay, so this one, open the file for reading purpose. Okay, this one, open the file for writing purpose. Okay, so that's it. It's done. After you open the file, then you can write to the file. Okay, so far there are two steps. We create a file pointer, and then we assign the file pointer address. This is the pointer. This is a pointer. Okay, the pointer address will point to the file we open. Okay, so this open function, or the file open function, retain address of the file. Address of the file will go to the pointer address of the file here. Okay, and then that's it. After that, you will start reading or start writing. So let's see one full example. Here is it. Okay, we create a file pointer. Here is it, the first step, file pointer. This is step number 1. Then after that, I open the file. This is step number 2, open the file. Then after that, I will check, did the file open or the file not open? So here's, I will check if the file pointer here, this is the pointer, is equal some address, then that's mean the file is open. But if the file pointer is pointing to a null address, that means the file is not open. So if the file pointer is point to a null address, that means I could not open the file. But if the file pointer is not equal to the null pointer, that means the file is okay. I open the file without any problem. Then if I open the file, then after that, I will print to the file. Print to the file using what? Like put character. You say, wait. The put character, we use it to print on the screen, put character. Okay? So put C, we use it to print on the screen. That's true. But when I say put character to this location, that means print this character. This is a character. This one is a character from this array. Here is it, this array name. You see the array name. I will say go to the count, and usually count here is equal to 0. So go to the element number 0 from this array, element number 0, and put this one to this file. Okay? If you don't put this one, it will put this character to the screen. But if you put this one, it will put the character to the file. Okay? So put character here mean put the character to a file. So this one here is very important here. Without this one, it will put this character to a screen. Then after that, go to the next character, and then go again, and then put this next character, and then go again until the last character in the string. The last character in the string will be the null character, which is this one, the null character. Okay? And then after that, this is step 3. So this is we'll write to the file. And the last stage, close the file. You must close the file. You say, okay, if I forgot to close the file, what will happen? It will close automatically, but this is very important to tell the computer or to tell Windows or operating system, I don't use this file anymore. So if you want to move this file to another location, if you want to delete this file, if you want to do anything, you can do whatever you want. But if they don't close the file, in this case, the file will be controlled by the software. In this case, you cannot delete this file, you cannot move this file. Okay, so this is important, the closing operation here. So there are 4 steps here. Open the file, check the file is open correctly, and then start writing to the file, and then close the file. So this one is how to write a text file. So this one, text file, how to write to a text file. So let's see this one together. I will copy this one, and then I will show you this one if it works fine or not work fine. So I will go here, and then I will paste this code here. Okay, so here is it. So first, okay, I need to remove this main here, and then, okay. So here is it. I first create the file, and then I have a string. I want to put this string to the file. Okay, I will save this string to the file. What's the name of the file? The file is name.txt, and the file will be open as a writing. So writing. So I will say this FFP is pointing to the file. And then after that, I will start writing to the file. You might ask, okay, if this file, I want to open this file and the file is not exist. I want to open this file for writing and the file is not exist. What will happen? It will create this file. So this one will create, open the file if it exists, if it is exist, or create the file. Okay, so it will open the file or it will create the file. Okay, so this is the 2 things. Now you say, and then after that you say, okay, if the file is exist, it will open the file, and if the file is not exist, it will create the file. Okay, so this is how this one will work. But when that means this one will never happen. It will not open the file. It cannot open the file. No. Imagine you have a full hard disk. Imagine you have a full hard disk and you want to open file, but the file does not exist. You want to create a new file. When you create a new file, but the hard disk is full. So in this case, the file will not be created. And if the file cannot be created, in this case, this one will be null. Okay? Or another situation. Imagine you want to create a file. You want to create a file in a computer and you have no access to create a file. You are not allowed to create a file. In this case, the computer will not allow, Windows will not allow you to create a file. And in this case, this one will be true. So the file cannot be open. Okay, so this one could be null. Could, when you create a file, could be null in the case if you have no permission. Okay, but in our case, we have permission and we have enough hard disk. So in this case, we have no problem. That means this one will not run anymore. This will not run. So this one, after that, we will make a loop and character by character. We will read character by character, and character by character from this string will be inserted to the file. Then after that, I will close the file. Okay, so let's run this one together and see. So here is the software. I will run this software and then I will look to the hard disk here. In the hard disk, here is it. So I will run this one and you will see here automatically when I run this software, automatically there is no file name here. There is no file called name. Okay, here is it. Okay, no file called name. When I run this software, automatically will create a file .txt and this file will be name. So let's run and see if this one will work or not. Yeah, it need, so in usually in it need this one in Visual Studio, but it will not ask this one in the case of code blocks. So I will put this one here just because this one is required in the case of okay, run. It's done. The software run. So let's see if the software generate this name file. So let's go here to file, and let's go here, and here is it. Name is there. Okay, so you go to the lecture. So this is my folder. I go to this file, and then here is the debug of the file, and you'll find name is here. Okay, open the name. You'll find here is you see this sentence. My name is Huey. So is Huey. So this sentence is coming here. Okay, so this file is here. So maybe I can change this one. So let me change it. Okay, this data go. Okay, this data goes to file. Okay, so like this. Okay, let's run again and check if this software is working or not. So I will close this one, and let me close all the text files. So you will run again one more time. And yeah, software run, everything is okay. So let's go the name again, and here is the data goes to the file. Okay, so this is writing to the file. Very simple. So 4 stages, and you can write to the file. Okay, create a pointer, then connect the pointer to fopen function, and then start write to the file whatever you want using while loop. And you can use put character, you can use printf, you can use whatever you want. Okay, so and then after that close the file. Okay, now next, how to read from the file. Reading from the file is the same like writing to the file. So you will say here, you create a pointer, same thing, right? Create a pointer, and then open the file using read mode. So this is the only difference here is this one open the same file, but now it's a reading mode. Okay, reading, and then check if the file is okay or the file is not okay. But now here is a question. If the file is not there, in the case of reading, if the file is not there, it will create this file. The answer is no. If the file is not there, it will say cannot open the file. So if the file name.txt, in the case of reading, if the file is not there, it will not create the file. In the case of writing, if the file is not there, it will create the file. But in the case of reading, if the file is not there, it will not create the file. Okay, remember this one. So here, if the file is there, it will not run this one. If the file is not there, it will run this one. What is this one? It will say cannot open the file, and then exit the software, close the software. Okay? Imagine the file is there. What will happen? It will read from the file. Here is it. It will get C. Get C, that means read from the keyboard. Now, get C alone, without this one, if we don't put this one, just say get C, it will read the character from the keyboard. But when I say here, read the character, but from where? I say read the character from this pointer. This pointer is what? This was a pointer for input file. So read the character, okay? And if this character is not equal to end of the file, this one, end of the file. IOF means end of the file. If it's not equal to the end of the file, if you remember this one here, when you read the file, you see this one? This is end of the file. This one means end, okay, end of the file, okay? If it's not equal to the end of the file, keep reading, okay? So I will say here, and read character by character, read, and if it's not equal to the end of the file, print this character to the screen. Put this character to the screen. So I am reading from the file and the print on the screen. Okay? Then after that, close the file. So here, start reading. Okay? So how you read? So get character, and this get character will get character from this file. Okay? And then print on the screen. Okay, so, and then close the file. So let's check this one together, if this one is working fine or not. So I will copy this code here, and then I will put this code here. Okay, so here is it, the code, same. And now we have this file, name.txt. So name.txt is here, okay? It's available. So if, okay, look here, name.txt available, and then run it will print on the screen, this data goes to file. You see this one? This one inside the file. But imagine, so I can put in the file anything I want. So, okay, this data is, okay, this data is coming from, this data is coming, it's coming from a file. Okay, save the file and then run the software again one more time. Okay, let's run. This data is coming from file. Okay, so this data, but now imagine this file is not there. So imagine I want to read name.1. Okay, name1. The file is not there. There is no name1 here. So let me check. Yes, cannot open the file. I cannot open the file. But if the file does not exist in the case of writing, it would say, okay, the file is not there. I create this file and I start write to the file. Okay. Yeah, so this is how you can read and write to a text file. That's it. This is how you can read and write. So here is write to the file and read to the file. And now for reading and writing to the file, you can have the mode here. You see this mode here? This one is very important here. This one tells you what is the operation you want to read. You want to read or you want to write. So if this one is read and this one here is write, okay? So be careful about this one. So read and write. So this is right. What else do we have modes? We have read, we have write, we have another thing, we call it append. Append means add to the existing data. And there is also read plus, this one for read and write. Read and write. And there is also another kind of things for binary files. We will see this one later, okay? For binary file, we can add extra mode. But let me just show you here how to write. I want to go again. This is a writing file, writing. I want to delete this one. This is the read file. And let's see, I delete the name. And then this one is writing. If you see here, this is writing. So I will write to the file. And as I run this software, it will create name file. So let's see, because this is writing. So write, run. Okay, so the file name is here now, generated. Okay, if I open the file, so this data goes to file. This data goes to file, okay? Now, run the software one more time and open the file. You see the file, it's same data. Every time you run, it will be the same data, okay? Now, what I will do, I will change this one to append. Append means add to the existing file. So if the file is there, okay, I will delete this file again. If the file is not there, it will create the file and start append to the file. So I will run. Okay, now you will find name is here. Okay, open, is the file is data is goes to the file. Okay, this is good. Now I will close the file. Okay, close the file again, run again. Here is the file available, everything is okay. Run again one more time. Okay, now let's open the file. Oh, it's adding to the file. You see, it's adding to the file. How to make this one more beautiful? I can put here a new line at the end. So I can say here, put character. I can put here one character to make it beautiful. One character, and that character will be a new line, okay? Like this. And run again. Okay, let's see the file. Here we go, okay? And then run again. Every time you run, it will add to the existing file. You see, this will go to the file. And then, okay, run again. You will see the file is updating. You see, the file is updating extra, everything append. So append, this one add to the existing file. So this is the meaning of append. This is for writing, okay? Append to the existing file, okay? So this is how you can read and write from text file. So and then I will stop here for the, usually the get C and put C, also get character and put character are same. But here the get character work with the screen and put character work with the screen. Get C and put C work with the file, okay? So this is very important to know. Closing the file means you will release the file. So in this case, you can release the memory related to the file from the computer memory. So it's very important to close the file when you end writing to the file or reading from the file. Okay, so that's it for reading and writing to the file. In the next video, I will show you how to read and write to the file using another way, okay, using fprint and fscan. So before, we saw how to open the file and use put character and put C and get C. We will see later another example using fprint, f, and fscan f. Okay, so this is in the next video because this video is long enough, and we will continue talking about files in the next video. Thank you, and we'll see you next video.